Hello, string players. Mr. Fitz here, coming to you from my basement. Bad hair day. And I got my strings rock sign up here, okay? And we're going to be working on line 140. So I'll play it first, and then I'll show you some strategies for working it out, okay? 2/4 time signature. 1 and 2 and 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 1 one and two and one, two and one and two and one and two and one and two and one. Okay, so here's the thing with this. I did goof a little bit in there, but hopefully you'll forgive me. All right, so 2/4 time. All right, so that means we're going to be counting 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and the note that starts the song is a special case. Do you recall what that is called? All right, so I refer to that as a pickup note. So when you start a song or a phrase at the end of a partial measure or at the end of a measure, then we call that note or notes pickup notes. All right, so starting on beat number 2, so to count in, you'll say 1 and 2 and 1 and. Now, what I would always recommend you do is to just do a section of this at a time and make sure that you can, first of all, shadow bow it, then second of all, play it on one pitch. And then just iron out your notes. So for example, on this one, I'm going to do the pickup note and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 measures. All right? So the process is going to be to shadow bow first. So I get my bow ready, and I notice that I'm starting with an up bow, so I'm prepared to do an up bow. Okay? And I'm going to count myself in. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2 and. All right, so make sure you can do that first. You want to practice that a few times. If you need to pause the video, do that. All right, and then come back. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the same thing, except I'll play it on open D. Okay, and I get myself ready to do an up bow. 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2 and. Okay, and now the next step is going to be to name the notes and do my fingers on my viola or violin or bass or cello. Okay, so if you don't know your notes for that first part that we just were working on, I want you to pause the video and then look back and look them up. All right, so here goes. All right, so we got D, G, G, D, D, E, E, D, D, G, G, A, B, G. And I noticed that they want me to put my keep my fingers in position. There's a bracket between that B and that G. All right, so all right, I'll just hold my fingers so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. All right, so in other words, here's the B. And then I want to leave that finger in place while I do the G. Just bring these two fingers here. All right? I don't know if you can see that. Okay. I'm looking, it's funny, I'm looking on the camera and everything's backwards, so it's confusing me. All right, and so then after you do, practice saying the notes and doing your fingerings, all right? And then when you do that, really keep an eye on your finger placement. You want to avoid scrunching your fingers, all right? You want to make sure your fingers are placed nicely. If you got tape marks, use them because you want to play in tune, or as close to in tune as you can. Now, only other thing, well, what I'll do is let's just demonstrate playing that little bitty, all right? So now that I practiced that, 1 and 2 and 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 1 and 2 and. Okay, and And so you just practice that enough times so that you can play it while counting. Remember, the counting is important, all right? Other thing about this, be on the lookout for the low second finger for the C if you play the violin or viola, all right? Cello, make sure that you play the C with second finger instead of third. And bass players, I think you're on your own. I don't have a bass book with me, but make sure you play a C, all right? Have fun.